In this video we're going to create a silent install script in PowerShell that will install Google Chrome browser with the MSI format. And MSI stands for Microsoft Software Installer. So let's start to download this file. So we open a browser. It's not that hard to find. I still have added it as a favorite. So let's download here, and I'm going to put this link in the description. And we want, of course, the 64-bit version, and we're going to need this version number, so I'm going to copy it. Before you copy it, it's good if you have enabled the Windows clipboard, which is native in Windows 10. You do that by holding down the Windows button plus V. And I already have it started, but if you haven't enabled it, it's going to ask you yes. And after that, it's enabled, and then you can have multiple copies. So let's see, we copy this one again, and let's start to download, especially on my connection because it's a bit slow. It's going to take a while. Accept and download. So now hopefully it starts to download the bundle. It's about 113 gigabyte. It says it will take about 10 minutes. While this is downloading, let's create the folder structure. And if you followed along the previous video, we already have a template. Let's use that one. So we open the Windows Explorer with Windows E button, go to the C, go underscore Intune, and here we have underscore template. Here we have our template. So let's copy this folder. I will right click and copy, go up one, and now when we copy this folder we lost the version number, but thanks to the Windows V we will have it. So we go up one level to underscore Intune, we paste the folder here, and now we're going to rename it, and I'm going to do that with F2 on the keyboard. So manufacturer is going to be Google, and the software is going to be Chrome, and the version is the one we copied but now lost unless we use the Windows plus V. So here I have it in my clipboard, and it is a 64-bit browser installation. So here we got our two folders, output, which is empty, and here in a later video we will output the Win32 format, the bundle of all our installation scripts, which we will upload to the Intune console, Microsoft Endpoint Manager. If we go up one level, we also have our source folder, and it's in here we're going to put the MSI file, our config file, our PowerShell installation script, and even the uninstallation script, which will be the next video. So while we're waiting on this download, let's start to create the PowerShell installation script. And you can use Visual Studio Code, Atom, or your favorite text editor or script editor. I'm going to use Notepad++ for consistency. So I'm going to start that, and we're going to start to do some comments, and comments in PowerShell are with the hash sign. So I'm going to start here and call it purpose. And purpose install Google Chrome, and we again have the version and 64-bit with settings. And we're coming to the settings. They're actually being downloaded here in the files in the download. Okay, we put another comment. Let's put the author, and I'll put myself there. For some reason, always capital. The second, and let's put a third comment for date, and today is the 12th August 2021. Probably not the date for you when you're looking this. And let's save this one so we get the formatting. Let's do it the go away, file, save as, and we're going to save this in the source folder. So let's go underscore Intune, Google Chrome, and the source folder, and change save as type to all types, and we're going to name this one install Google Chrome, and again the version number x64.ps1. very important, it's ps1, that's the extension for PowerShell. And we save this one, and now we get the format. So everything that's green is just comments, and we're going to add one more comment. Just gonna check the download, soon done half. We're gonna need a variable. So let's mention that here in the comment. set variables. And we want one called script root. It can be called anything, but the script root gonna be dynamic, so we always find to the files. If you followed along in the Mozilla Firefox in CMD, we use the %~DPO0 to always find back to our source folder. The script root gonna be the same. So as long as our files are in the same folder as the PS1, because the PS1 will run this script and the script root will find where the PS1 is running from. So if it's running from C:\temp, the $script root are going to be exchanged to C:\temp. So we're going to do a split path, and I don't know exactly this one by heart. I think it's my invocation dot I'll have to look. My command .path. So this is going to be translated, the $script root is going to be translated to the path where this PS1 is running. So if we put our MSI file together with this PowerShell script, they're always going to find each other because the script are going to call the MSI file. Okay, here it starts to be finished zone. The download. So we could do open file, but I prefer to do open folder. Let's extract this zip file. Extract all, and I uncheck show extracted once completed. We extract this folder. And I'm gonna delete the zip file. I like to have it clean. In here, we're going to pick two files, the MSI file and one config file. Let's start to get the MSI file. That's under installers. So there are 3 MSI files. We only need the middle one. The bottom one, legacy browser support, is not needed. It's included now in Google Chrome. So right click, copy this one, and then go to our source folder and we paste it there. Then we need a config file also, because we're going to make this standalone. Normally you would manage Google Chrome setting in enterprise not with a standalone file, but for this purpose it works good. So we go up one folder, and under configuration, here we have a file called master_preferences. We're going to copy this one. Can speak quickly about the other files. The plist is for Mac machines, and the ADM and ADMX are for group policy. But my preferred way to manage Google Chrome browser is to use Google Chrome Cloud Management, but that could be another video. That's a great way. It's free from Google and you can manage your browsers in over the cloud. But now let's do it standalone with putting our settings in this master_preference file. So we copy this file to the source also. Paste it in here. So now we have the installation file and the settings file. I'm gonna clean up the download folder and delete this one as well with a shift delete, so it's gone. Let's modify the master_preference file. Let's just change the start page to something else than the default one. So I'm gonna edit in Notepad++. So instead of going to google.com as default, I'm going to put the custom page, https:// and then gbn.brints.cloud. It actually currently doesn't have any page, but we're going to see that in the address bar, and then we know our settings has been taken. And there's a lot of settings. Just take one quick visible. So save this one. So now we have our settings file. We also have our installation file, the MSI. So now let's go back to the script and finish this. So now we can do a comment, install Google Chrome. And how do you install an MSI? You use a command called msi-exe. And you can look which parameters take if you open a PowerShell command and there type msi exec, and you don't have to, but I type exe also, and you can do / ? and you get all the parameters it can take. And we're going to use this / I for install. We're also going to use Q for quiet, and with N, which means no UI. You can read more about that here. I'm going to put it directly in the script. So we're going to do a start process, and file path. We're going to run MSI exec.exe, and then we're going to have a argument list, and here we're going to add all what comes after MSI exec. So we want the /i for install, then we want our file. Let's take that from the source file. So I'm going to do a fake rename by F2, Control A, Control C. So now we have the name of this file, and we're going to put that here. But this won't work, it won't find it. We need our variable that we created earlier, the script root. So let's copy that and put in front. So we can explain that again. So that means that $script root is going to be translated to whatever path the PS1 script is in. So as long as the Google Chrome MSI file is in the same folder as the PS1, this script is always going to find it if we put it in the script root. If we leave it like this, it will start installation, but it would ask you to do next. And in Intune we want it totally silent. So to do it silent, we have to do / Q for silent and N for no user interface. We could leave it like this, but I always like to have a log file, so I'm going to do a space / L for log, and you can put the log file wherever you want, in C :/Windows /temp. I'm going to put it in program data in a custom folder. So program data, which is a hidden folder, and then I'm going to put it under GBN logs, which of course is a folder that doesn't exist natively in Windows. And then I'm going to name the log file install Google Chrome. See if we still have the version number, Windows V. Yes, we have it down here, x64.log. But here we have to take in consideration something. If this folder doesn't exist and it tries to log there, it will fail the whole installation. So we're going to make sure that this log folder actually exists. And I'm going to do that at the very top. So verify this folder exists. And we can do that by doing if to check something, if, and then we can do test path, and then another test. So this one gonna test if this path exists. But we actually want to test if it doesn't exist, so we put the exclamation mark. So if this folder doesn't exist, what should it do? Well, everything that we put in the curly bracket. And we want a new item. And what item type? We want it to be a directory. And what should it be? Well, the path should be this. We can put it in the quotation. There is no space, it's not really needed. And we can force it, so we're sure that it's created. So this should make sure that this folder, if it doesn't exist, then it run line 7 and create it. Now this should actually install Google Chrome for us, but we wanted to add the settings as well. So for the settings, we just need to copy in the file that we modified, the master preferences, under a folder under Google Chrome. And very important, which I forgot, is at the end here to put the -wait. And that means it's gonna wait until this one finished before to do next line. Because if we copy the file, the config file, and the Google Chrome directory don't exist, it's gonna fail. So here, copy in config file, and that's gonna be copy item. So what are we going to copy? Well, we're going to copy our master preference. So I'm going to do an F2 here, Control C. So now we have that. Let's paste that in here. But same, we need the path to it, so we can again use the script root. Why? Because my master underscore preferences is in the same folder as PS1, and the script root is going to reference that. So we put that here, we put backslash. Then where should we copy it to? Well, let's copy it to C colon backslash, and we need quotation here because it's going to be a space. Program here, program files, and then it's going to be Google, then it's going to be Chrome, and then it's going to be called application, and let's put the backslash again to show that it's a folder, and let's do a force. If there is already a file master underscore preferences, we will overwrite it. So this line should copy this file into that folder. So let's save this and test run this and see if it works. And if it doesn't work, which is probably done a typo somewhere, we go back and fix it. So one way to run this, we have the file here, is if you do Alt F. Hold down Alt plus F on your keyboard. And we could do this, press S to go here, but I go with the GUI way, open Windows PowerShell. And we definitely want to open it as an administrator. So hit yes here, and then we are in our folder. We can do ls or dir to see the file, and now we're going to run this installation file and install Google Chrome. So we do dot for current directory backslash. I will just start to type in, and then I will hit tab, since it's the only file who starts with those two letters is going to find it. Before we run this installation script, I just want to verify that no Google Chrome is already installed. So if I put Chrome here, it's nothing. We can double verify here. There's no Chrome. Okay. We can keep this one open and see when it shows up if it works. So let's see. When we're testing our PowerShell script installer, we might get an error, and that depends on which execution policy we have on our system. By default, it is restricted. So let me show here, PowerShell, let's run as administrator. So if I run get execution policy, it says it's restricted. That means it's not going to work. So if we go to our script, Intune, and we have Google Chrome, and we have our source folder. So if we go in here we have a file. So let's say I want to test install a script that we have done here, the Google Chrome, the install script, and I run it. I'm going to get an error, and the error going to be cannot be loaded because running script is disabled on this system. And this is default on all Windows 10 system unless you have a group policy or something else. And it's the recommended. That's good for security. What I'm doing temporarily on my machine is that I'm changing that. So you can set execution policy to unrestricted. And I'm going to do that yes to all. So now I'll clear this. If I now get execution policy, it's going to be unrestricted. And now if I would run this command, it would actually work. Now we will run our script and see if it's working. No error so far. I'm just going to put this one more visible. No Chrome installed either at this point. Let's give it some time. It's still running. Now it gives back, so hopefully it should. Yes, here we have a Google Chrome. So let's start it and see that it have taken our settings. If the start page is gbn.prints.cloud, then it have taken the settings. And it has. Perfect. Let's verify it's the correct version. Help about Google Chrome. And it is our version. You're not going to see the correct version here in app and features. It's going to show version 68. And that comes from the MSI file. We can actually quickly look at that. So if we right click and edit with Orca, and Orca is not by default in Windows, and then go to property, we're going to see that the product version is 68, but that's not the version of Google Chrome. So our script is working, and the video got pretty long. Next step gonna be to create an uninstallation script. Well done. You did it really good. Thank you very much.